We're back with another video, guys. We just finished off the Junkyard episode. We are gonna start working on the 540. We're gonna go ahead and pull this bad boy up in the driveway, and we're gonna get some work done on this. We gotta replace the rebar and the hood cable, but we're gonna pull it up. Damn, we do gotta get a couple more parts for it, but we're gonna go ahead and get some work done on this. Yeah, this car needs a little bit of love, but we got some parts now. In case you didn't see the Junkyard video, we got a hood cable and a hood latch that needs to go on this car because this one is desperately broken. It got in a little bit of a fender bender, so this is bent and missing some bolts. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace this, put on the crash rebar. I was unable to find a headlight this time around, so we're gonna look on Marketplace and OfferUp. Maybe someone local has one. But that's really all the front end needs is this rebar support, the crash bar, the bumper, and then this bracket is completely mangled. I gotta pull this off and see if the metal behind it is bent. So I have the metal bracket that this bolts to is part of the chassis in the car. So if that's bent, we're gonna have to either unmangle it, finesse it back into place, or possibly bend it just so it's good enough to hold this mount and get it in place. This fender is pretty clapped, has a bunch of dents, but again, it is paint matched and it's not that bad. So I might try to bend it back somewhat in place and see if this is savable. If not, we will have to get another one. And yeah, so let's go ahead and start getting some stuff done. Let me take off this bumper support. Let me take off that bracket for the bumper. Let's get the front end somewhat together and we'll go from there. But that should be relatively easy. So let's go ahead and get that started now. First things first, we're gonna get these hood struts changed out. We got our little ghetto jerry rig real quick. So first things first, let's get the hood struts changed out because these are terrible. So I'm gonna have my assistant film here. Super simple, just these little clips. They're kind of a pain. I might need you to hold that hood. Just keep your hand there in case. So that's out. Now I gotta dig through this shit. There we go. One out. Again, pop the clips out, pop this out, and bow. One more done. Both hood struts are changed out. Simplest job you could do. Bow. The wood is out and the hood is up. Now I'm gonna go ahead and probably tackle this hood cable because I gotta do it on my M5, so I'd rather do it on this junker first. So if I break something, we need to break this car first. I'm gonna look out the proper way to take that out because I don't want to keep breaking these.
See if it works.
No, bro. But we're gonna go ahead and get that process started. I gotta do a little bit of research first, and then we'll come back with an update. We have the cord out. This junction box is absolutely destroyed, so good thing I did end up getting another one. I wasn't even really gonna get one, but I just pulled it out because that Junkyard is way cheaper, and they don't even really charge you for everything. They just look at what you got and give you a price. So luckily we did get that junction box. I legitly actually pulled this interior apart so we didn't break anything. Not like the Junkyard where we just ripped things apart. This is where we went wrong. This cable is completely frayed apart and peeling, and we only have a few wires left. So yeah, this could have been fixed without replacing it, but again, not really. If you just put a handle back on and try to pull this, I'm pretty sure you'd snap it right away or within a few times. So now we have to, very hard to see, but there's a little grommet up there. Maybe you can see. It's very dark, sorry. But we have to feed this through and pull that out of the engine bay. It's gonna be kind of a pain. You really have to tug it. I tried looking up a tutorial and see if there was a better way to do it and not break anything, but there's really nothing to break. It's just a cable. It's already broken. The only thing I'm trying to protect, there is the little grommet. I just wanted to keep this safe, but I'm pretty sure it's just that. And all the cords actually had it themselves. So I think if I can pull this off and just take this out, it will be all good and not be a problem going back in. But I'm gonna go ahead and tackle that now off camera because it's gonna be a little bit of a pain in the ass. I'm gonna need both hands, and I'm gonna need Schmetty to go ahead and feed this through and tell me when to stop pulling it. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that now. Everything's going pretty smooth until probably about now. So also gonna replace this junction box, and then we're gonna piece this interior and this engine bay back together. But we got a few more things to touch up, and let's go ahead and get to it now. We have the cable ran through, learning a little more. realizing that we sort of did break these, but it's really not the end of the world. The only thing it is the little rubber boot. We can get that a replacement after, but the cord is actually ran through. So we're going to continue to run this, mount this, and we'll give it a little bit of a test pull before we button everything up. And again, I need both hands, but super simple. Just ran through up here. We ended up pulling that grommet straight out. Super simple. Now I'm learning how to do this the actual correct way, so when we do the M5, it can be legit and a lot better. So I'm gonna go ahead and mount this up into this bracket and then mount it into the junction box, and then everything should be back together. We have a little bit of a test, a little bit of update. Eddie, feel your handle and let me know how it feels. My first time trying this. Let me know how it feels. Give it a nice little pull. Come on, bro, you're gonna break that shit. You pulling that shit crazy. All right, ready? Hold on, one finger. Ooh. 3 things. Hood struts, hood stays open. Hood closes and latches now. And now the hood opens. We're facing a little bit of a problem though, that when you close it, like this latches no problem. This, a little funny, so like if you do that, seems solid. I think you just gotta do that every time you close it, or you gotta hit it with that, and now it's solid. Other than that, hood latch, what do you think? Success? Success. Latches, hood stays open, and now we can open it. That's mint. Opens, closes, stays open. We're gonna go ahead and button the interior back together, and then hopefully it still works. Other than that, that's one successful thing for the 540. So let's get out. Stop, you're gonna break that shit again.
This shit bent too?
Shouldn't be. Next up on the list, we have this one. This crash support is missing bolts and bent. I hope that these threads aren't bent. They look, they actually look a little bent, but I think we can bend it back. Either way, we can bolt this on. We can get it some way lined up. It might not be the prettiest inside, but outside. Don't put that shit on my driveway. Is that side bent or not? No, but it's loose. This one's loose too. So I'm gonna go ahead and take these off real quick, and we're gonna check if this is bent. For sure, bent. You can see this where it is out of line. This is off, but I'm pretty sure these threads and this whole bracket might be bent. Let me see the new one. Yeah, these threads are a little bent. I'm gonna try whacking them a little, and we'll try getting them sort of straight. There's no way we got this lucky. The crash support lines up. We had to pull this out just to get it in. That lines up basically perfectly. This lines up dead ass perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and throw these bolts on just to verify, but I'm pretty sure this lines up exactly how we expected. I didn't see this. I didn't see that at the junkyard, but hey, that's fine. That's really not that big of a deal. It's a little bent, but the main bar is actually in very good condition compared to all the other ones. There wasn't even another one. There was at the pick apart yard, but they tacked. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw these bolts on, and let's verify that this is actually solid. Go ahead and run that through. Hey. Bro. How we looking? Keep running it through. Bro, there's no way.
I got a little stiff one. Actually, yeah, it went straight through. Straight in.
It's a little bent. It's a little more out on this side. Hold on. We do have to tighten that little rail in. This is just a test fit. We're gonna go ahead and pull it back off. But my rail, it's a little loose. We're gonna go ahead and tighten those back up, both of them. But I wanted to verify this actually fits, and it lines up with the tow hook hole as well. We're gonna get it more dialed in, but you can see on this light is a little pushed out, I believe. I think that's why too. But you can see there's really no gap right there. And then if you come on this side, this is how it's, I think, supposed to be. It's an even gap all the way through. The line's perfect. So we're gonna verify. It's kind of also hard to do this without a bumper, because the bumper will be the telltale sign. But it's a little pushed in right here. We might have to pull this out a little bit or more this way. We're gonna verify again once we have a bumper, but it's very hard to do without a bumper. We're gonna have to wait till we get a bumper to line it up directly. We're gonna have to see. That will be when we tell if we have to bend anything back or adjust anything. But the fact that this bar actually lines up and the bolts are going through, again, it's a little loose, but we can adjust that further and get this more dialed in. But I think that was a win. The fact that this is even in place to line up, that's sick. Where'd you get that bolt? Oh, missing one bolt on the driver's side. I have no idea why it would even be out, but good thing I have full bolts for like 2 or 3 strip cars. So this is the bolt that we need right here. I have this little tray. Here's, see the socket. Bro, there's no way. Watch this. Damn, you're literally POV camera right now.
POV.
Hey, as POV as it gets. Motherfucker, you're useless. Now for the ultimate test. We're solid. We're solid. This engine bay is disgusting, but we're gonna get this cleaned up as well and get other things touched up. We're gonna put all that stuff back. We're gonna finalize putting in the cable. Actually feels very good, surprisingly, even though this is not fully in. I don't want to take it apart and break anything else, so we're going to put this back together. The hood latch has been working absolutely amazing. Actually, the latch is now open, stays open. We got hood struts. We got the cord ran through. We got this bumper mount. Or not the bumper mount, that's next. We got the crash bar support all bolted in, bent back, replaced. The bolts in. Both of these are extremely solid. All these bolts are back except for the 8 mil. Same thing, that 8 mil is missing on that side. Not really necessary if you ask me, but of course we'll try to find it and put it back. But now we got to tackle this. I'm gonna take this off and see if we can get this bent back and sort of replaced. I'm gonna see how bad the metal is, but it's gonna be super easy since this car is already missing half the fucking headlight. So we're gonna go ahead and rip that apart now. Here's the bracket that is bent. So this needs to be basically pushed down and flat. So this does look completely savable. It looks 100% just bent up compared to over here. Again, sorry for the wind noise. This bracket just needs to come down flat. It's a very thin piece of metal. You could literally wiggle it with your hand. It just needs to be flat and straight. I'm 100% confident we can get it. It's just gonna be the point to kind of finesse it into there. We're gonna need this under headlight bracket as well. You can see it kind of broke off, but if I can get this pushed back in, get this fender lined up, this fender liner to line up, and then get the bumper mount in relatively a close enough area, everything will go back together perfectly fine. So I just need to get this hammered out, bent out, and everything should be good as new. I got the bracket pretty flat. It needs to be a little bit more smoothed over. You can see there is one little kink line that I am facing. It's kind of hard to get in there. It might need to be heated up and then obviously like put a block under it or behind it or something, and trying to get this a little more flat. I believe it's almost like a 1/4 of an inch off, if not that much, only on the bottom really. So you can see it's a little bit bent itself, but yeah, it's part of the chassis. So the problem we're facing too as well is that this side doesn't have this under bracket. So we're gonna have to get one of these from the junkyard. I believe it is a bolt-in bracket, if I'm correct. I don't see anything holding it in welded wise. I could be wrong, but if it was a welded bracket, there should be no reason why it's missing on this side. It should just be, so this seems to be a whole plastic tub, and then over here, maybe it is welded in. I don't know. I guess I'll have to find a reference on either my M5 or at the junkyard again, but I don't think it's that big of a deal. I'll have to find a reference because there is supposed to be a bolt here that is missing something. It's not actually for this fender line or anything like that. It's for the bumper, but I need more of a reference to line this up. It looks to be decent. I had to fix that little tab too, but it's extremely hard to get in there. I'll probably just get that in there with a flathead and bend this back down. Gonna be a little harder to get. If I get that right there, basically already bent it back. I need to go a little out. Yeah, so literally, and then this fender is a little mangled in there. So if I could hammer this back up, but it already will line up. We just need a bumper. Again, it's very hard to line this up without a bumper. So for now, it's honestly almost in the exact spot it needs to be. It's came out pretty flat. This kink seems to be a little more in than it should be. But again, it is a factory little spot where it is bent, so it's hard to tell. We'll get this bolted up to the fender. We'll get everything lined up as it needs to be. I'm gonna put this mount on and get some measurements, but this fender is also bent and dented and pushed in, so it's kind of hard to measure this with a messed up fender, no bumper. So for now, honestly, it looks pretty good compared to where it needs to be off some rough measurements. It's only about 1/4 of an inch off, if that, and it's also kind of hard to tell because, you know, everything's not lined up over here and it's pretty much missing. So going off some rough estimates, it's basically already where it needs to be. We just need to go grab a couple more parts. We might hit another junkyard in one of these coming days, but already this car got some good progress for the day. Almost everything we changed from the junkyard, if not basically everything from the junkyard E39 wise, is on. This car I don't think is going to get the technical graphite. It has pretty decent interior with some wooden trim. I have some in the stash. It is a little cracked going around, so actually we might swap some of it out depending on yeah, the center the thing is with wood is that all of these look like they're different. Usually the wood is pretty easy to match, or they are matched. These door trims look very good. That one's seen some better days, that one's seen some better days, and then you can tell, I don't know if this is matching honestly, because you can see the wood grain in this, and then you come over here, it's completely different. So I have some like black and some carbon wrap trim. We might just throw it in there. Most people want to switch it out anyway, and we do have the trim for the gear selector, so we can go ahead and swap that out too. That'll probably be later tonight or one of these next days. But hood latch is working, hood struts are on, hood actually latches now, crash support and the rail for it is on, the bolts are replaced, the bracket is back and bent over. We need to find a bumper, headlight, and then we might need a fender because it's pretty bad. And then anything else is just really extra for this car. I do need to get some seat motors because this one doesn't recline and the other one is twisted and I believe doesn't recline either. So the twist we can fix for free, but for the actual motors, we might need to go to Junkyard, pull some motors out too. So this car is already basically in one day halfway fixed. We got everything laying around, but that's how it goes when you're fixing one of these. I think gonna be it for this episode. It's not been too much progress that's notable, but it's put us in the right direction and basically almost wrapped up this car for what it is. So we gotta hit another junkyard run, get some more parts. Today was slightly a come up, but we gotta fix the rest of the engine bay. We'll put that back together now. We'll button that up, and that might do it for today's episode. I think this is the wrap for the episode. We've been doing this for about 2 or 3 hours, but he's got to get going. I got to get cleaned up a little bit, but I think he's going to come back in a few hours. We're probably going to get some more work done, but it's going to be dark out. I do have the trim for the M5. We might throw it on here and be some ricers. I don't know how this video is going to work out with the wind noise. I hope it's not too bad for you guys or too annoying, but we're going to go ahead and call this one episode 1. Not too much got done and your guys' end, but for us, that's basically half of the car that needed to be fixed. So that's pretty much solid. We got a lot of stuff done that was like tedious stuff, like kind of pain in the ass. This car didn't need much to begin with. So we should be all set in a day or two. Maybe this week should be basically wrapped up. I'll post in the group and see online if I can find a headlight and a bumper so we can get that swapped out ASAP. Don't have to worry about the junkyard. But we're gonna leave it off here. Me and Eddie got a little bit of work done today. So we appreciate you guys for watching. If you are new to the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. We're gonna get back to you ASAP with another episode. Probably come tonight. We're coming over tonight?
Yeah.
Are you serious? Dude. We're gonna come back tonight and me and Eddie are gonna freaking mob the city, baby. We're gonna take this thing to Mexico and we're gonna do the biggest shitties you ever seen. Eddie's gonna do donuts, do some burnouts. We're gonna do everything you can imagine in Mexico, of course. Más donas. Anyways, that's it for this episode. I appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. Come back soon. We got some more content for you. And we're out of here. Later.